There is a huge chunk of the world around us that we have yet to discover, and there are things hidden around us that can turn our lives upside down. Here are 10 rare discoveries found on Earth. Before we start digging, hit that subscribe button and show us some love. Bosnian Sphere. This massive sphere was discovered near the town of Zavidovići in Bosnia and was discovered by a man named Semir Osmanagić. The sphere is believed to be the largest man-made sphere in the world and proving that humans had advanced technology thousands of years ago. While there is some controversy as to whether the sphere was man-made or nature-made, there is no doubt that its size is nothing short of impressive. Graubel Man. When bodies are discovered in a bog, they are usually just heaps of mummified skin and bones with little to no distinctions of face or body type. However, in 1952, a team of peat diggers discovered a bog body in the village of Graubel in Jutland, Denmark. The body was so well preserved that its hair, a reddish-brown color, was almost perfectly preserved. Graubel Man dated back to the late 3rd century, had smooth hands, meaning he didn't do any hard labor, and seemed to suffer from an aging disease. Looking at the body, you would think it was an alien from another planet. Volgograd Discs. Located in the Volgograd region of Russia, a UFO group unearthed over a dozen strange disc-shaped stones that tested heavy on containing tungsten, which is a military-grade type of metal. The discovery was made by the UFO group known as Kosmopoisk, and they are led by Vadim Chernobrov. Their rare discovery was made during excavations in the Zhirnovsky district of the Volgograd region. While the group thinks the stones come from aliens, researchers from a local museum agree that the stone's UFO shape came from erosion. Nazca Lines. Unless you've been flying a plane over southern Peru, then you probably haven't seen the Nazca Lines in person yet. The Nazca Lines are mysterious white lines of geometric shapes and pictures and were believed to have been created between 500 BC and 700 AD. It is unknown what their specific use was for, but of course, conspiracy theorists believe the Nazca Lines were communicating messages to aliens. Even though a few thousand years have passed, the lines can still be seen. Venetian Vampires. In 2006, the skeletal remains of a 16th century woman were found in Venice, Italy, with a disturbing addition: a brick stuffed in the skull's jaw. Historians initially believed that the remains belonged to someone who was seen as a vampire. Now there is speculation that the corpse belonged to a woman who was accused of witchcraft. Post-mortem analysis found that the woman's jaw was forced open by a brick, which was an exorcism technique in 1600s Italy. Also, the woman was between the age of 61 and 71. Mount Owen Claw. It looks like the hand of a monster, but it is actually the severed limb from an extinct bird known as the moa. It was discovered by archaeologists in 1986 in New Zealand while they were digging down deep inside an ancient cave. What was incredible and rare about the discovery was that the flesh and the muscles were still intact, despite the fact that the bird disappeared about 2,000 years ago. The bird, which was about 12 feet high and wingless, went extinct thanks to early humans. The moa claw is preserved in a natural history museum. Baby disposal. In Ashkelon, Israel, archaeologists were shocked to discover the remains of nearly 100 babies in the sewers of an ancient Roman Byzantine bathhouse. One of the sadder parts was that the skeletons were mainly intact and seemed to be thrown down the drain soon after death. Granted, in ancient Roman times, the lives of babies were not seen as valuable, so these babies could have died for any reason. Maybe they were the babies of prostitutes or invaders who were trying to annihilate a generation of their enemies. Sacsayhuaman. Located in Cusco, Peru, the Sacsayhuaman is an ancient wall that started construction in 1100 by the Quilca people and continued for over 100 years. Upon completion, the Sacsayhuaman is comprised of several different kinds of rock, including yucca limestones, diorite blocks, and dark andesite. The wall was built in a zigzag-like design, and while there is no confirmation as to what they were used for, the walls are used for ceremonial purposes in modern-day Peru. New parts of the walls continue to be discovered, with a new section discovered in 2008. Dique spheres. Also known as the stone spheres of Costa Rica, the Dique spheres are a collection of over 300 spheres, and they range in size from a few centimeters to several feet in diameter. Some of the heaviest spheres weigh about 15 tons, with some made from sandstone while others are made from limestone. It is said that most of the spheres are near perfect in their shape, and their purpose still remains a mystery, as well as their origin. Göbekli Tepe. The Göbekli Tepe is, at the moment, considered to be the oldest archaeological site in the world. Located in Turkey, the site was first surveyed in 1963, but no further excavation was done until 1994, when the large T-shaped pillars were discovered in a more thorough dig. Historians believe that Göbekli Tepe was abandoned around 10,000 years ago and was a place where people worshipped their deities. What is most incredible about Göbekli Tepe is that it predates Stonehenge by 6,000 years. Please check out our good friend Matthew Santoro and his amazing channel with incredible videos like 10 people who predicted their own death and so much more. Take a second to pay him a visit and subscribe if you like what you see.